Blessings, everyone. It's your girl Mocaso, and I'm here for another episode of Women in the Metaverse. And you guys know I'm always excited to come and have a great iron sharpening conversation with all of the women in the Metaverse, or those just listening and wanting to hear what different women are talking about here in the Metaverse. Because as we've seen today, Apple is dropping new products. There are always new things coming, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. So the more we buckle down and start learning, the more we will start to take advantage of the opportunities being presented around us. And that is actually what this whole month is going to be about, which is how women can actually seize the opportunities in the metaverse. So one thing I definitely liked, as you guys know, last month we actually really went deep into AI and how AI can help women, how women can protect themselves from AI and with AI and things of that nature. But in that, there was a demo when we did, and I actually had AI help me as if I was creating this podcast for women in the metaverse. And one thing that I really noticed that I liked about it is the content suggestions that it provided was really geared specifically towards women in the metaverse, right? Where usually we come and we talk about broad topics as women in the metaverse. But when we kind of change the context of the conversation, and it becomes, again, how we can focus on the different topics for women in the metaverse, I think that's where it becomes even more powerful. So shout out to AI for helping inspire this month's different topics. So I'm exploring some of the opportunities for women in the metaverse that we'll be diving deeper into throughout this month. First and foremost, this week we'll be covering just different opportunities in general. You guys know these episodes are usually fairly quick, and I'll just kind of give you some good details. Next week, we'll be talking about interface development, user experience, marketing, and more. And I know some of you may think like, oh, that's where it starts getting all complicated. But if you've played Sims before, if you've made your own Barbie dream house and gave it your own special touch, I promise you there's a place for you. Because if you see our space over here, you know, these kind of studios and these spaces that are going to be creating those user experiences need women. I know, again, using Apple as another great example, a lot of people are giving them the backlash of their new headwear that came out. And I think, again, a lot of that changes when you have more women in the right places offering their feedback. Because I think, you know, from a woman's perspective, we think about design, and we're also overly considerate about what others are going to think and what others will want as well. And I think, again, when you think about the skills that you have and how you can use them to find opportunities in the metaverse, that's where you start creating your own lane and pioneering. So it's going to be very exciting next week when we talk about that. The week after that, we'll be talking about our opportunities for moms here in the metaverse. You guys know every third Monday that is dedicated to the mothers out here. And so we'll be talking about the opportunities for moms. And then the last week, we'll actually just be talking about opportunities to educate and train others in the metaverse. Because, again, you can take now whatever you know and educate and train in the metaverse. So you guys here, it's going to be juicy, and it's going to be a really great conversation. So shout out to anybody that's over in the treehouse. Okay, great. I see Tiny over here. So that's great to see you there, Tiny. Feel free to drop any comments you want to add in the chat. I do see you said you're over at your mom's house. That's cool. Thomas Destiny, I said, what's up? And yes, we're about to get into it. Like I said, today's not going to be too long. I really just wanted to, again, open everybody's eyes up and offer some insight, again, to all of the different opportunities that could be for women in the metaverse. Because, again, I think sometimes we kind of, you know, skip past these different things without really absorbing them and thinking about how they're going to impact us. And so, again, I did tell you guys I used ChatGPT to actually help with this. So I'll go over their different suggestions that they provided for different women in the metaverse. So Going into number one, let me see here. Sorry, guys. Okay, so number one, content creation. Okay, now these are going to be the 8 different opportunities that AI suggested, and then we'll actually, like I said, this month talk about them in more details. And you guys know that's where I'll go into the nitty-gritty detail and helping you create your own ideas from these different topics that you can kind of go from. But starting with number one, content creation. Now, women can create and curate content for the metaverse, such as virtual reality experiences, AR filters, 3D modeling and animation, virtual fashion designs, and virtual world building. They can showcase their creativity and storytelling abilities through immersive and interactive content. Now, content creation, if you guys have been seeing on social media, Instagram now has avatars where you can use your avatar to become your profile picture, react easily to pictures on your profile picture, and so much more. It's even taking the next step where a lot of people have been using the Zepeto characters for like making content for their avatars, and it's crazy because coming from the digital fashion sphere, I've seen people using the Zepeto platform for a while to be able to create their own wearables, right? And so actually now to see a wave of people actually go into the platform and be using the avatars and the fashion is amazing. So number one, you have to think about that when you're thinking about being on these platforms early, and knowing that that wave is coming if you're on the right platform. But number two, again, creating the content with these tools as you're trying it, right? I'm right now here in the metaverse creating a podcast. I could have on a scarf. I could look horrible. I'm telling you guys, it's that time of the month for me, keeping it real as a woman in the metaverse. And, you know, I'm not feeling like I look the liveliest, but you guys can't see that. It's all voice. And so, again, think about how that changes content creation for women. Think about how many women let that be a barrier to stop them from creating content because of how there's some type of appearance barrier or something that's stopping them. And also think about how many more sponsorships become available at that point, right? Because like we said, there's filters, right? There's so many more things that you can now start to promote and interact with and connect with. But we're going to get into that next week when we actually talk again about that marketing and the user experience, because that's that whole umbrella that falls under. And then we also have developing and programming. Now, this is where women can actually work as developers and programmers to build the infrastructure and technology that powers the metaverse. So this includes working on virtual reality platforms, developing virtual marketplaces, and creating interactive experiences that will help optimize performance and user experience. So again, think about it. There's nothing like a woman's touch. Again, think about marketplaces. Right now, a big hurdle to actually get people using this stuff is because it seems like it's, old or overly complicated, or, you go into a website and it's not user friendly, right? It's missing that sophistication and ease and elegance of that womanly touch to have that extra step to think about the user that's about to come in, use it, and also give it a nice little sleekness that, only, I don't want to say only women can do, because then, hey, maybe they'll start calling me sexist. But again, it's just something that I would say women do naturally, right? Where we see something, and males are very logical, right? So 1 + 1 = 2. Great. But 1.5 plus 0.5 also equals 2. And sometimes as a woman, you can see, hey, if I put 1 right here and 0.5 right here, I got 0.5 left, and I could drizzle it across the top to make the same 2, and now it looks nice, right? And again, as you start using different parts of your brain to get the same result, but a little bit better, so that you enjoy that experience a little bit more. And even if not to say that women do it better, but you need both parts of that to make it user friendly, right? And so I think, again, just having more women push to be present, that's where we'll get more of everyone being a part of it, which is why you guys know I always emphasize that in this podcast anyways, which is being a part of being on these platforms, even as something as simple as us being here on Spatial, us having our content here, filming it here, and being present. We are helping change this platform, right? From the day we stepped on the platform, they stamped us as change makers here on this platform, because they understood we came in and we changed it up. We changed how they were even using the platform, right? And there's going to continue to be people that see tools and change it and disrupt it. And so that's what we're going to continue to see as more people actually step up and into those roles. And so, furthermore, you also have social media and community management. So I already emphasized again the power of social media, but there's also community management. Now, why this is so important is because right now, a lot of the ways that people are connecting in these digital spheres is already on places like Discord, which is already almost like a step away from the metaverse. So again, when we talk about community management, having people that understand how to organize a group and have people on the same page, understanding how to be a part of the community, welcoming people into the community, that matters, especially when you want to say, you know what, I've been building this community and now this community is a business, or now this community really has some liquidity behind it because now we're all shopping amongst each other. Now we're turning into a real ecosystem, and we want to start taking it up a notch. You got to have your different pieces in place to help you navigate that, and those people like your social media managers and your community managers are going to be those that help you, because also as you elevate, so will your roles, and so will you wanting to connect that team. And I would say one of the best things that has been for me as going into the spaces, wanting to go and create the best team in those that are around me, and everyone around me has goals. We all have this similar missions, and the end goal for our families, not even just for ourselves, but for our families. So we're all doing this for a bigger mission. And again, having those right people around, it will make all the difference while you're building. I think, not even to say just that, but even in the marketing and stuff that we've been talking about. Shout out to Tiny Creates, who I know is in here. I'm going to use her as a great example. But she's been someone who's been with the Raw DAO from day one. And one thing I always tell people with the Raw DAO is use this as a resume builder. Show people as you're building, as you're learning, here's what you did transparently, and let that be what offers you some, skin in the game, right? So that you now have some experience too. And now she actually just got one of her first paying gigs from somebody, again, seeing her work and asking her to create content for her in these digital sphere. And she used these tools that she's been learning here with us, creating content for herself. We just spent a whole month on AI and AI art and all the different things that we've done together. And she's used that to not only help herself and her own create content, but has started to be able to get paid to help others because of her being able to monetize her education. So I know we're going to get into that in a little bit later, but again, that all goes into marketing, it all goes into development, and it all goes into taking advantage of the opportunities that you can right now, like I said, in these discords, being community managers. Shout out to Havo, who I'm not sure if listens to this podcast, but if you guys are familiar with him in our space, or Fashion Fridays, or just the Web3 fashion space in general, again, he's also started as a moderator within the Raw DAO, and now as a community manager for DressX. And again, he will always be one of those people that say, again, it was that experience on learning before and being able to say I've done it before that helped him feel confident to even step into the next. So take it serious when you see these different positions and how you can start to work up, because these are going to be those positions of the future, right? And your value is determined by what you're putting in now when you think about experience and how you can use that to your advantage right now. So kind of moving into some other ones, such as the UX and UI design, which is again how women can specialize in user experience and user interface design for the metaverse. They can focus on designing intuitive and immersive interfaces, navigation systems, and user interactions to enhance user engagement and enjoyment within virtual environments. So I kind of have already hit that one on the head, which is, you guys know, you've done it before. Again, if you create your avatar and create a space here in space, you guys know you probably get that thrill of being able to design and create what your space looks like, and it is a great experience. And being able to create that for others is something magical. And I think, again, the more people we get into the spaces creating, the more experiences that we'll have that will continue to attract others. So you have to be here to get it done, though. And then marketing, advertising. Women can work in marketing and advertising roles specific to the metaverse. They can develop marketing strategies created for targeted campaigns and utilize digital platforms to perform virtual products, events, and experiences. So if you guys haven't seen, I have a shop in here, right? So I actually make physical tie-dye t-shirts. I create a digital pattern from taking a picture and editing it real nice, and then I take that digital pattern, I put it on digital clothes, or also I mass produce a bunch of like accessories, right? Like hats and socks and different things that are not my one-of-one Mocasso tie-dye t-shirts. And so for me, I've been able to, again, create this store here to show that, right? To show my physical tie-dye t-shirt, to show the digital pattern, to show the merch in it, so that now, although everything I do is very different, I've been able to package it into this digital store that people are familiar with. That I can say, hey, it's 24/7. You can go in there, find a promo code. I've got a nice little avatar in the front that waves to you so that you feel welcome. There's music, it gives people, again, that familiarity, so that when they enter this new experience, they still feel welcome and intrigued to continue to explore, right? Until they do feel even more comfortable to shop. And you'll continue to see that, I think, websites, right? I think once you start to think of the metaverse, it will become normal for website to have a metaverse as an extension, right? I think any website that doesn't have, or any brand that doesn't have some type of metaverse platform is going to be, deemed in the past eventually, because everybody will be having this virtual experience. So if you're not in this virtual experience, you'll start missing it. So again, I think the more that understand that this is where brands should be building right now, if you understand how to market brands and how to help brands navigate getting their audience here as well, again, that's what's going to start making you one of those marketers that is going to have an advantage, right? Because there's a bunch of people right now that know how to market or pitch or whatever the case may be, but what's going to make you different and special? And so kind of moving right along, because I see my battery is about to die. So then we also have virtual economy and cryptocurrency, which you guys know you can definitely earn generational wealth, investing in the cryptocurrencies that are ruling the systems and these new systems that are coming up to date. So this isn't going to be a big cryptocurrency lecture, but you guys know, do your own research, because the system is resetting. And just like yourself, if you invest in the right systems, think about when the banks was first coming up. If you could have invested in the Federal Reserve back when it was starting, if you could have said, hey, let me give y'all a couple dollars, so as y'all make money, we all gonna make money. That's something you probably would have put your money in. And that's something to say, a very, very, very loose example to make you understand that system that we're using. If you could put your money in that system and ride it on its way up to be a part of building that system, although you may or may not agree with it, that is the system. And so you want to, stack your pennies with the dollars so that you're coming up with it instead of being teared down, because you have that choice. And so with that, I just say, do your own research, go learn about it, learn about what cryptocurrency is, how it's changing the banking industry, the world's economy, and get involved in it. And if you need, I do have course on Udemy called A Simple Introductory to the World of Cryptocurrency, when I give my insight on the fourth industrial revolution and how we're using tools like cryptocurrency to help move that along. So last two things, it's education and training. You guys know we are going to go deep into that this month, and it's super self-explanatory. You can come in here and educate and train people to do anything. If you guys don't know, I've had a course in here on how to actually make rose water, right? Valentine's Day, everybody had roses. I'm like, okay, everybody bring your roses. Come to one of our spaces where I have my kitchen set up, and I showed everybody how to make rose water with their Valentine roses. And it was super easy. Everybody was able to watch it, do it at their house while we were doing it together, and at the end of it have their own rose water, and then watch that video to continue to do it from there. And we can continue to do that. I've done it for, making nature's flu shot and other culinary classes and so many more. I have a whole school set up in here to educate kids and so much more. So again, we can really dive into that, and we're going to really dive into that. So you stay tuned to later this month. And the last one is research and development. So again, just by you being here in the metaverse, you are a part of it. Your information, your knowledge, your experience matters. And there are platforms that are willing to pay people, especially women of, color, or especially women of different races and ethnicities and backgrounds, because they're collecting data. They want to see how different people react to different things. That's why you can see, the headset, companies sponsoring different people, and different metaverses sponsoring different people, and different streaming platforms sponsoring different people, because again, they want to see what happens when these different users come and use their platforms, and then what happens when their followers come and use their platforms. And you're offering that research and development by you being there, because if nobody's using these tools, then it's all for nothing. So that is even an opportunity, especially when there's so many people that see what's happening and don't care to take advantage of that opportunity. So it starts, number one, with seeing the opportunity and seizing the opportunity. And we about to get even deeper into it, because I gave y'all a mouthful, and I can get even deeper into it because there's so many different opportunities in the metaverse, and I won't shut up about it until I see you all in here taking advantage of them all, because they're just going to continue to grow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments as well. If there's any other opportunities in the metaverse for women that you guys think I missed or want to share, make sure you drop them in the comments, and I'll definitely talk about them on the next episode. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Peace.